March 30th, beware the Ides of March. Almost over. Kombucha time. Really good for you. These random posts that I do are very randomly. I don't know if I'm ever going to be regularly doing it. I will when things really start to shift. Mostly just videos. I've done, by the way, this is sort of world event stuff today. I've been posting like a madman on my social medias for about 2 years, sometimes 4 to 5, what I call propaganda. Information that I see as truth from my perspective. Not to say anybody else has to agree with it, but I feel that it's just another source as an alternative to the mainstream media because they sort of follow a narrative and agenda. And I'm talking, as I've said before, all mainstream media, from Fox to MSNBC to CNN. They're all, in my opinion, and millions of people like me, garbage. And people are really starting to wake up to that. So there's a lot of other alternative news sources popping up. There's a lot of independent journalism coming back again, real journalism. But you kind of got to look for it now. Some are becoming more mainstream, and it comes back to what I say all the time. Do your own research. Figure out what works for you. Don't listen to anybody else. Use, sources that you like, and then at the end of the day, use your intuition, your women's intuition, your gut instinct, whatever you want to call it, your inner soul. That'll always guide you. It has guided me for a long, long time. But it's good to be educated. Anyway, I'm going to probably start to wind down on all my posting, especially Facebook and all that alternative news posting I've done for mostly on the. I started with the COVID thing, and now I've been talking about, keeping up on world events. I will still post stuff, but not as frantically as I have been, because the way I'm looking at it now, we're going into another transition from my perspective and what's going on in the world. And anybody who does follow me because I'm on 20 different social media platforms, at least 20, I think. And that includes the video ones like Brighton and Brighteon and I can't think. Anyway, there's 3 or 4 of those, and then there's a lot of other ones out there too, and I've posted them a few times. I'm just going to be living my life more and helping more hands-on people, so I won't have a lot of time to devote to that because it's a lot of work. And I'm figuring that most of us have kind of got our ways now where we think we're going to see going. There's those that are living, it's their journey. They're living obliviously to what's going on in the world, and that's okay for them. They're probably going to be a little surprised as things are moving forward, but that's okay. There's those that have drawn the line in the sand and saying, this is what I believe, whether that's on the right or the left or in the middle. There's those that have opened their eyes, that I'm in that group that we call ourselves more awakened, not woke, more awakened, because we look at all sides. As I've said before, I watch CNN, I read liberal sides, I read the right side, and I read the middle, and I kind of come to use my discernment and make decisions from there. And you start to wake up because you start to see another perspective that you see, not what you're told to see by the mainstream media and by the leaders like the Faucis and stuff. Well, all that stuff is coming to surface. So, long story short, I will be here doing a lot of work when things really start to shift and turn around, which we're not too far from now. And I don't like to be mysterious. I don't mean to be. It's just, you can see what's going on in our world in the United States here. Things are coming to the surface now, and we're at that stage. And so the next stage down the road is people are going to be waking up en masse. They already are now. There's a lot of things happening with COVID. I should say the aftermath of the jabs and weird things starting to happen to people. That's going to come out more and more and more. Basically, the news won't be able to cover for this stuff. It's more truth is coming out, let me put it that way, on all aspects of our society. And that's going to, in turn, wake a lot more people up. Well, a lot more. And they're going to be looking for answers. And they're going to want to know what to do. So people like me, thousands of people like me, if not millions, are going to be here to help those people when the time comes. You think I'm a complete lunatic? Then you don't need to watch this stuff. It's fine. You go on your own journey. But I just won't be posting as much articles and things on the social media. I don't know when I'm going to start winding it down. It's just, if you haven't, as I said, I think you pretty much, every individual's got a decision. They made a decision. They kind of know where they're sitting right now in this world. And I've put a lot of information out there, and everyone's welcome to go read it, but I'm going on to some other things right now. But just touching bases with a few things on what's going on in the world. Of course, we've got the huge thing going on in Ukraine and Russia, and there's many sides to that. Everything is not as it seems, and there's going to be a lot revealed on that. I pray for the Ukrainian people, I really do, but the government, not so much. They've been as corrupt as you can for years, and that will start to come out. The big thing too that's not getting a lot of press is the Hunter Biden laptop, which I've talked about for going on 2 years now, is finally getting the light shined on it. It's real. It's not Russian disinformation like many people were saying for years. It's coming out. There's people in Congress talking about it now. Finally, there's a lot of us that have been behind the scenes pushing for this and releasing information. A lot of us, I'm not part of some small little group. There's just millions of us that know about this, that are trying and waiting for, and I guess timing is everything. So the Hunter Biden laptop has a lot in it, and this is more than just him doing drugs, doing crack, and with the hookers. And my heart goes out for people like that. Being a alcoholic myself, that I quit drinking 15 years ago, but addicts is just that part of me is sad. I pray for people like that, but they had things that they've done other things too. But he has been involved, and the Biden family has been involved in a lot of shenanigans that I've touched on, and they're compromised, and that is going to be coming out more and more. I mean, COVID basically in the news, and the mainstream news, has just all but disappeared. I'm in Twin Falls, Idaho now, where I grew up, taking care of some family business. I use the local newspaper, Times News. They still have a paper. It's getting thinner and thinner, but I use it as a barometer for the United States. Any small town, USA. And the front page did nothing but post fear mongering on COVID for going on 2 years. Now it's barely even posting anything about COVID. Now it's Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. And that is news, but COVID's taken a back seat. Countries are dropping their mandates. The US is dropping their mandates. It's all of a sudden just they wake up and say, okay, we're not doing this anymore. The vax passports, all that sort of thing, are going by the wayside. So why? You have to ask yourself, why is that happening? Oh, well, we've defeated COVID. Well, think about the big picture. Think about the big picture of what's going on and see what's happening. The current administration, and other people are blaming Russia for everything. Russia's been blamed for everything for years. To a point, they may have points, but not for the gas situation, not for all sorts of things. So again, wake up and see the big picture. There's many reasons the gas is more expensive, and it's not solely Russia. We're in massive inflation right now. There's a lot of things, again, going on. What's happening if you're paying attention to what's going on in the world. My point of this whole video is just to, if you're interested in anything I have to say, just start doing the research. Do your own research. Start really looking in. Don't take one news organization. I've repeated this ad nauseum. Do your research, because now it's all flowing out. There's so much information coming out right now, it's hard to keep up on. And I keep up on a lot of it. It really is. So things are turning upside down. People who are sort of oblivious to this, it's again their journey, and they're living their lives like nothing's ever going to change. And 2 years from now, it's the same thing. It's not going to be the same thing. Things as we know it have changed, and it's never going to be the same. It's a new normal, as they say in the COVID circles. It's not even normal though, but there's going to be a lot of upheaval ahead. And I've said this for a couple of years too, but we are there now. We are here now, and we're going through that. And the upheaval is it's happening now, but more is coming down the pike, and it's going to take a lot of people by surprise. And they're not going to know what to do, because it's going to turn their lives inside out. Many people, what they believed, or put their faith in certain leaders and certain principles and certain dogma, are going to have that rug pulled out from under them when the truths start really coming out, the real truths. And I'm talking many, many levels here of what's going on in this world. And they're going to need help, and they're going to need guidance. And that's where we see ourselves. Inflation's going through the roof. The dollar is losing value very quickly. I'm not a financial expert, but what I've done with a lot of my money is I've been in crypto for 7 years. I'm a big fan of that. I've talked about that before, but that's something you really need to educate yourself on, and that takes a while. Precious metals, people that are a lot smarter than me say you can never go wrong with precious metals in real estate. Well, for now, yeah. So a lot of silver. I believe, again, people that are a lot much more smarter than I am across the board are saying that silver has been artificially kept down for years. I believe in silver. It's used in manufacturing. It's about $25 an ounce today. Um, I've been buying a lot of silver. Crypto. I took all my, I did this a few years ago. I took all my monies out of the big banks. The Bank of America in Texas, our company had Bank of America. We just got tired of many. We took them out. We were in local credit unions. I have a local credit union in Texas. I have one here in Idaho. So I'm keeping my monies, my fiat, the dollar, in local banks and keeping minimal amounts actually. So I've taken most of my money. This is just me, and I'm not giving financial advice, but a lot of it's gone, like I said, gone into crypto, precious metals, and into a local bank, and money that I also give away or whatever, you know. That's what I'm doing because the dollar is losing value. We're going into inflation. The signs are coming down the road. I'm not using this as fear mongering. We're going through a rough period. There's going to be supply chain issue problems. You can see that now. There's not a lot of stuff in the stores. Some of the stores, but that's going to probably get a little bit worse. Prices are through the roof now. They're going to get higher and higher and higher. But this transition shouldn't be that long. A couple of months maybe. I don't know. A lot of us don't know. But it's always good to be prepared. It's when I lived in Los Angeles and I lived in Texas, in Houston, Texas. Los Angeles, you had earthquakes. In Texas, you had hurricanes. You always had at least a month worth of supplies. You know, you can go overboard and create your own compound and be a prepper. That's fine if you're into that. But it's always good to have water and food for at least a month in your place. If you can do that, if you can afford it, just, you know, in case things happen. I'm not saying it's going to, but always be prepared. It's a Boy Scout motto. So we are in tenuous times, and it's probably going to get a little bit crazier and crazier. And it goes back to what I've hammered in for years. Find your peace. Find your grounding. Find what makes you happy. Find what makes you at peace. The quickest way to get there, at least in the circles I go in, is the arts that go back thousands of years: meditation, yoga, exercise of any exercise, any sort of exercise. Eating right, that means staying away from sugars, garbages, sodas. Eat as clean as you can. Find your peace, find your grounding, so you can be that anchor in the storm. As we're in the middle of that now, as that storm gets stronger and stronger and stronger, we're not going to be in our fear mode, in our worry mode, because worry and fear are low vibration emotions. It's been proven by science. And guess what those do? Constant worry, constant fear, constant anger, constant jealousy, all these low vibration emotions, they create disease. That's proven in modern science. This isn't just my woo-woo stuff. And disease, that comes cancer, inflammation, all sorts of things, heart disease. So get yourself in a position, you should be doing this anyway, to be as healthy as you can and as grounded as you can. Healthy body, healthy mind, healthy soul. So when the shit literally hits the fan in certain ways, it might be surprising, but you'll have a stronger base to handle that coming towards you. Music, spend time with friends, anything that makes you happy. Happy. Be grateful for what you have, not for what you don't have. And that goes a long, long way. And there's a lot of things out of our control. We can't control certain things. So it's learning how to operate when those things come, and learning to operate our little circle of the world. I've repeated this many times before. Just wanted to touch bases. Keep an eye out. Do the research. Use your discernment. At the end of the day, your discernment, your gut instinct, whatever you want to do. Don't rely on just one source or one leader. And I'm talking all leaders, Biden, Trump, all those. Listen to them if you like them, but just throw it in the hopper, and then at the end of the day, use your discernment. What works for you, and ask questions. Always ask questions. Never take anything as gospel. Say, oh, is that right? Okay, I'm going to go look it up. That's what I've done. Anyway, I hope you have a good week. We've got a little bit of sunshine out here in the last couple days, but I miss the South. I really do miss the South, and I'm going to get down there very soon. I'm still in Idaho handling some things, and I will check in with you all later. Thank you.